All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shakti from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And I was on the interweb and I found this video by Paul Preston called New California State Grievance 47, Yellow Vest. And I took a look at actually the majority of the video, and it's very interesting because if what I'm looking at and hearing is true, the Yellow Vest movement has now moved from Europe to here in the United States, starting with California. And it's a very interesting video. So in this instance, I'm going to let the video play and then bring out some scripture in the end.
State of New California, Grievance 47. Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical communist state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government is in direct violation of the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. California State Constitution, Article 1, Declaration of Rights, Section 1, Section 32, Article 1, adopted 1879. All people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. Among these are enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring and possessing, and protecting property and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy. Mass Yellow Vest revolt is now the order of the day. The California Communist governor, the monoparty government, along with their associates at the county and city levels, are engaging in mass sustainability fraud, which is being implemented all over California. The United Nations Agenda 21 and 2030 Agenda plans for sustainability were adopted by the United States in 1992. Many nations around the world have embraced this totalitarian plan, including the state of California. Now in 2018, the plans have matured and their true totalitarian design can be fully seen. In France, a full-blown revolt against the fraud perpetrated by the United Nations is in the works. The people in France are suffering the same injustices as Californians under the totalitarian edicts, where the end game of their sustainability plan is to reduce the population of humans on the planet from 7 billion to 500 million. The tools to do such monstrous activities are provided by the United Nations and their local extensions known as ICLEI, aka Local Governments for Sustainability. A global network of 1,500 cities, towns, and regions, they impact 25% of the global urban population. Most of the cities, towns, and regions involved in ICLEI are found in California. Chuck DeVore, Vice President of National Initiatives at the Texas Public Policy Foundation and former California Assemblyman, wrote, "The Yellow Vest revolts is largely middle-class people who earn their living by driving or who commute to get to work. The cause of their ire is a scheduled 25 cents per gallon increase in gas taxes and about 10 cents on diesel to fight climate change." French President Macron, deeply unpopular, just reversed course on the new green tax, and Parisians are already paying about $7.06 per gallon for gasoline, almost half of that in taxes. The economic wreckage of such a punitive tax would plunge, in Paris streets, if Paris streets burned over a proposed 25 cents per gallon climate change tax, imagine the global conflagration over a $49 per gallon tax. The economic wreckage of such a punitive tax which plunged the global economy into a permanent depression, and that's assuming politicians could enact such huge tax increases over the will of their voters. The violent protests in France were fueled by intense frustration felt by a middle class that sees itself squeezed. They don't earn enough to be part of the elite unconcerned with fuel taxes, but they work hard enough that they don't qualify for the generous welfare benefits handed out to the nation's poor and newly arrived immigrants from Africa and the Middle East. The oppression felt in all aspects of California life today are the result of Agenda 21 and 2030 agendas. While we in New California State have a U.S. Constitution to provide guidance to a new state, the French do not. The French people are now in open revolt against the same totalitarian plans as we as New Californians. New Californians stand with the Yellow Vesters. Insurrection. The government of California, the current governor and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law that governs the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Illegal acts and tactics. Utilizing Marxist, Leninist, and Maoist revolutionary tactics, the Communist California governor monoparty system and local government officials support and celebrate these tactics as a means to introduce and subvert all aspects of California government and civil society in an attempt to destroy the state of California and break down the sovereignty of the Union of States of America. Acts of secession. Therefore, the California Communist government, in conjunction with the Communist State Executive, instituted wherever the current Communist governor has usurped power, has created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America and thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 and end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in California State. This concludes these proceedings.
That's a heavy video. Heavy video. Now you have the Yellow Vest movement moving to California. And as I said, this thing is only going to get bigger. All right. I thought of a few scriptures while this was playing. And so, Isaiah 10:1, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." And so this is the whole reason why you have this Yellow Vest movement that is spreading like wildfire. You have people in France and other countries in Europe complaining about these tax hikes in the fuel, the tax hikes in their paycheck, the problems with their pension, the way that money is distributed amongst working people and poor people. It's just, as they say in a word, it's a cluster F. Okay? And all these unrighteous decrees are the reason why you have such an uprising going on over there in Europe. And they're stimulating from the greed of bad Uncle Esau, who is the so-called white man, trying to achieve, as what he mentioned in his video, Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030, which is to have complete control over people, resources, and power. Complete control. And now it's gotten to the point where you have so now you have Egyptian versus Egyptian. Because this is what you have right now from hundreds of years of unrighteous decrees. Let me tell I will set. Let me see if it'll find it this way. There you go. Yeah, it was against, not versus. Isaiah 19:2. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Because what you have right now is basically Edomite on Edomite uprising and turmoil. Yeah, you got other people who are suffering, but the main people who are spearheading this movement and are tired of all this oppression that's happening now to them is bad Uncle Esau. You got Edomite on Edomite crime and sedition. And this is what you have here. When you start watching a lot of these YouTube channels, the alternative media sites, what do you see? The majority of these people in the yellow vests are Edomites. And the majority of people who are fighting against them are Edomites. All right. I saw a video where a guy got his hand blown off trying to throw back. It was either a gas bomb or a sound bomb. And he got his hand blown off. Okay. You got reporters getting hurt. You got buildings being set on fire. People being sprayed with water hoses, beat with billy clubs. I mean, you got the whole 9 yards going in these uprisings. And this is making this goes hand in hand with Ezra, the 15th chapter. 2nd Ezra 15. It says sedition among men. Yep, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, because what you have going over there in France is that these folks, these regular Joe six-pack Edomites, are sick and tired of Macron. Because they know that he's a globalist, they know he's an elitist, and he's all for the elite agenda. Like I said in a video that I did yesterday, these everyday Joe six-pack people are finally waking up to the fact that this system worked in favor for them but in the grand scheme of things, it was not meant to benefit them. They were merely used as an instrument to gather wealth, power, and resources to the select few people of their nation. And now they realize this, and all hell is breaking loose. And this hell is now coming over to America. And you better believe, as fast as it spread over there in Europe, it's going to spread just as fast here in America. And it's going to bring us to this last precept, and then I'm going to close it on out. We got Isaiah 47 and 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And that's what we're going to have here in America, because here there's really hasn't. You've had certain things such as protests and marches, and I'm not talking about these whole Black Lives Matter garbage things. I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real uprising protest. Think of Chicago or the LA riots, just with a nationwide purpose to it. You know, America has never really seen that. America has really never seen a time in history where you're going to have mass sedition and uprising among people, because this place really hasn't been touched by any type of war or by any type of serious internal strife that would go nationwide. But now, since you have these everyday, as I said, Joe Six-Pack Edomites getting affected by these unrighteous decrees, this movement has now hit California. And they're angry, rightfully so. Okay, gas is going up, property taxes going up, housing's going up, food's going up in California. There's places in California where folks have just completely left because it's just so expensive to stay there. Not to mention, you got every unrighteous and abominable act going on there. Hey man, folks are getting fed up. And if this is true that you now have a yellow vest movement starting up in California, you better believe, hey, when 2019 hits, this is going to be out of California and quite a few states in this upcoming year. You mark my words, I said it here. This yellow vest movement will be in quite a few states in 2019. So I hope you all were edified. Once again, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, humility. With that, we're going to say shalom.